Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot. It's been a while since I've came on and done one of these. I wanted to do one today, and then I thought, I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit spicy today. So I hummed and hawed about it, but they've actually got me here now. So let's see what this is. I'm going to wait for some people to come on. I know everybody's busy. I know Christmas is coming. And I hope everybody is feeling quite festive, although that is not the feeling of the collective that I'm getting. So, what I'm feeling currently, first of all, this I'm going to do a reading, and then I'm going to explain a few things about why I've been away, stuff like that. But I feel that there is a huge collective grief currently hit. Okay, I don't know if you're feeling this, but there's a lot of people that I've spoken to that are saying the same thing. So, just to explain a little bit about what is happening collectively. Hey, thank you for being here since the beginning. I really, really appreciate that. And hopefully, this isn't the end, but things are changing. And I want to explain why and explain currently what's happening astrologically as well, so that everybody understands that. So, we're currently in a massive purge, okay? Until the 26th of January, we are all clearing our karma, okay? So this is not an easy time. There are so many people where old stuff is coming up, old grief, old pain, things about relationships, things about family, all of this stuff is all coming up at this moment, okay? And there is a reason for this, because we have got to push through it and clear it before we go into February, okay? In February, what is happening is Neptune is moving from Pisces into Aries, okay? And it's been in Pisces for around the last 11 years. Now, what I'm picking up with this is Pisces is very spiritual. It's creative, it's spiritual, but it's also illusion and disillusion as well. Okay. And I wrote something that I was going to send out as a newsletter, but I feel it's better to talk to it. So I'm just going to address it with the notes so that you know that I'm not missing anything. So the first thing I went to write was I stepped back from the bullshit. This was, I wanted to explain to you where I'd gone, why I'd been away. And spell check actually changed that to bulk shit, which really made me laugh, spirit work in funny ways, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. So the last couple of years have been interesting, okay? And I want to be honest with all of you here. I almost quit. I almost threw the towel in and said, that is it. No more spiritual work. Because I wasn't feeling that it was going in the direction that it was meant to be. I didn't want to be under this spiritual umbrella anymore. I'm a manifesting generator. So what I done, I rode that wave until I was clear on where I stood, where my work stands within the collective, and where spirit want me to be. So this is, like I say, it's so important to work with your strategy, your energetics with this. But somewhere along the way, this last few years, I got very disillusioned with the so-called spiritual community. Okay. There's so much. I love it. I love that people are reading tarot now. I love that people are into astrology. I love that. It was like when I was a photographer, everybody kicked off when people were using Instagram, and that to me, it's great. It gets people to look in that way. But what I was seeing was constant ads, okay, perfectly staged black backgrounds, these self-professed gurus selling love and light and crystals and saying this was the answer to everything. Now, this bullshit or bulk shit, as they call it, it's not just boring, it is dangerous. Okay, somebody's just said there, they followed me from the beginning. Yes, I joke, I swear, I do all of that, but when it comes to my work, the respect and the safety is key. Now, I have worked with many clients in the past where what we've had to do is get rid of the programming that they've had from, you know, these people. That I'm not saying that they're not doing the work, but the respect might not be there, or it might be not be done in a clean way, you know. So this can be damaging to people, and I've worked with a lot of people who have had this damage. This is why I feel so strongly about it. And, you know, one thing I want to say here to anybody, you know, who is on that spiritual path or whatever, you will know that it is messy, okay? Growth is messy. Healing is raw. It's real. It's painful. It's none of this sit and come by our shit. You know, that doesn't happen. So it's all part of this human experience. We are spiritual beings here to have the human experience. And the human experience is messy. Okay, we all go through it. And that is the whole fucking point, you know? So real transformation, it doesn't come by looking at a crystal. Yes, these help. I wear crystals, you know, I'm not against them. But it's about going into our shadows. It's about walking through. It's about having somebody to walk through them with you. But you cannot escape them. I hear a lot of people, you know, and it's stuff like, you know, like ketamine, stuff like that. I'm a massive advocate of plant medicines, you know. But, you know, I heard people saying, oh, it's my fast track to spirituality. And there's no fast track. We've got to walk the path, you know. So, and that is no judgment with anybody doing that, but selling it as this is the key, that is not the key. And, you know, I couldn't be a part of that. I couldn't be under that umbrella anymore, you know. So I had to step back with it. Yes, it was triggering me like shit. And that's where I had to step back and I had to heal my own stuff. But I want to say to you that there is no one size fits all for healing. Every single one of us is unique. Every single one of us is different. And if you're feeling disillusioned at the moment, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling like you don't know where to go, you know, anything like that, I want to say, great. You're doing it right, okay? This year has been a fucker. It really, really has. It's been the year of the snake. We're shedding a lot of skins, but it has not been easy. It has shown us things that we didn't want to see. It has ripped things away from us. You know, we're still reeling. It's raw, but this is reality, okay? And as we go into the new year, you know, especially as the time we get to April, things are going to hugely change. And what I feel with this, or what I've been shown with this Neptune moving from Pisces into Aries, throughout Neptune and Pisces, we've all tried to get up there. We've all tried to get as high as we can, to reach enlightenment, to, you know, to reach God, to reach whatever, you know. And as we now are going into a completely new phase of life, totally new, it's not about being up there, it's about being down here. And I feel embodiment is the key to spirituality now. That's what I feel. It's not about, you know, how many mantras you can recite. It's, are you walking that path in your daily life? This isn't something you do part-time. It's who you are. It's who you be, you know? And this is what is coming in very, very strongly. So the world is changing, and it's changing fast. And I feel there's so many of you, you know, I hope you're feeling the same, where you don't want to put up with the bullshit anymore. You can't be part of that charade, you know, or the falseness. It's like, you know, you need to feel everything, and we need to be grounded within this. You know, if you're feeling that, I want to say to you that that is wisdom. That is your intuition speaking to you. Okay? Because, like I say, it's not about ascending higher. It's about bringing that down. It's about giving it roots. It's about getting grounded. It's about being human. Okay? All of us are spiritual beings. We'll get back there one day, you know, when our time is up. But for now, this is a time when Neptune goes into Aries. It's a time for action. You know, we've got to leave this healing shit in the past. It's, you know, we've had it for all of our years. I'm 52 years old. I'm still carrying stuff, you know, over half a decade. That is done now. You know, I want to move forward. I want to see what's out there. My new mantra, I go to bed every night and I wake up every morning and I go, show me how good it can get, because I'm tired. You know, I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of my own bullshit, you know, and this is about rooting and grounding, you know. And the thing is, all of us are unique. Everybody is on our own journey. We're all at different stages. And that is the beauty in this. But as we go into this new way of being, business is going to change. You know, the way we work is going to change. The way we live is going to change. And the way we relate is going to change. So I want to try and get people ready for that. You know, I don't want to keep them so that they miss that bus or miss that train. I want you to come along with me, because that's where I'm going. I'm not doing the bullshit anymore. So is this making sense to anybody? You know, how are you all feeling? Are you feeling this? Because this morning, you know, there's such a collective grief. It's really hit. We had that new moon the other night. I know there's a lot of the planets that have been retrograde are now all coming back into turning direct, and we're there to pick up the mess. So look at it and see, what is it you've got to clean up on the inner? We can point the finger of blame at other people, but when we point the finger of blame, there's three pointing back at us. Where is it that we've got to dig into our bullshit? Where is it we've been hiding from it? I had a craniosacral therapy on Saturday, and wow, it was beautiful, but it brought up so much grief. And I realized this was grief for a dear, dear friend of mine that I hadn't grieved. 5 years ago, they passed. And I hadn't grieved that, you know. There was grief for the family that I wanted, or the family unit that I wanted, the Christmases of all, do you know what I mean? Everything being great. That's not the way life is. So I had to go into and sit with my own shadows within that, you know, and it was tender. And what I realized was, oh, I feel really vulnerable. But it wasn't just vulnerability, it was softness, you know. I'd been given the space to open, and I'd done that, and I realized that, I feel the softness is vulnerability. I'm not protected then. But if I'm not protected, then I cannot. When I'm not protected, then I can feel what I'm meant to. You know, I'm taking the armor off. So this is where we're at this moment. You know, I hope this is making sense to some of you. And last night I'd done a reading to see what was going on. I'm going to pull some cards now as well and see what's there. But I'd done a reading last night, and what I got was that the feminine is really starting to lose hope. Now, this made me sad, you know. I'm a lover of women, a lover of men, you know. I feel we're all God's children, if that makes sense, you know. And like I say, I'm not disregarding any other genders or whatever. This is the way I talk, you know. Take from it what you will, and, you know, put yourself into the bracket of whatever you want to be, you know. I'm cool with that, but please don't have a go at me for the way that I speak. But what I feel is the feminine energy is losing hope. Okay, we've been there. We've been, come on, yeah, it's going to happen. We're waiting for the masculine to step up. And I was shown that the masculine is still very much looking to the outside of them rather than the inside for this healing. And this is where I feel something needs to be done, and something will be done, because everything that what we resist persists, okay? And it almost forces us into positions that may not be comfortable, okay? So if there's something at this moment where you're not comfortable with, look at what you may have been avoiding with that as well. Because, like I say, once we get into that flow, that is when the pain stops. And usually it's that what we're scared of facing that actually holds the treasure that we seek, you know. So it's a big one. This is why I wanted to come on here. This is why I wanted to try and explain exactly what's going on, in case, this helps anybody. Now, one thing I'm going to say before I start these cards is, as of the end of January, I will no longer be doing readings. Okay, this is within this, what I've talked about, this bullshit, all of that. I don't feel that is where my work is the most needed, or doing the most for the collective consciousness. Okay, this was a big decision that I had to make. I may change my mind next year, but as of now, I will not be doing readings after the end of January. What I have done is, I know many of you have messaged me asking if I'm doing readings. I've opened my books up. So I've put a link below this video. I've put a discounted rate on. It's almost half price. And this is just to say thank you for everybody who has walked this path with me when I've been doing the readings, for the people that I've read for in the past, and, maybe the people that couldn't afford it or something happened and they couldn't get that. There is now a chance. My books are opened. The discount is on until the 2nd of January, and the readings will continue until the 29th. And then after that, that's it. I will no longer be available for readings. The way I am going to be working now is obviously my Alchemy of the Soul. This is a deep dive 6 month with me, where this will really, really, it gets us where we need to be. Everybody who's done this program has completely changed their life. I'm so proud of it. And what I've been working on, because obviously I want to be of service, is I've been working on a business blueprint. It's called EASE. It is Energetic Alignment Strategy and Embodiment. This will take you into the new world, the new way of business, the new way of being. Okay, so what I have done is, this is incorporating your astrology, your human design, your gene keys, my intuition. It's a 4-week container where we go into every bit of your business. There's so many people there that they've got make 6 figures doing this, make 6 figures doing that they're doing it their way. I know every single one of you is different. Okay, this is for healers, for coaches, for intuitives, for creatives, for anybody who knows that they've got gifts to give to the world. But it's like, but why are people not buying? Why am I not doing this? Why am I getting burnt out? Because burnout is one of the biggest things within this work. And the reason that we get burnout is because we're not working to our own unique strategy. We're looking to other people going that. I'm not going to tell you how I do it. I'm going to tell you how you do it. Okay. Want to say to you, if your business is not where you want it to be, it's not because you're doing something wrong. But what I want to say, you're not the problem, but you are the solution. So what I will be doing is working with people on a 4-week basis. We'll be going into everything, even down to the brand, the visuals, the marketing, the clients, the whole lot. I'm so excited about this. I've been testing it out the last couple of months with people, and the results are amazing. So I am so, so pleased to be able to offer this. And like I say, it will all be designed around you, not me, not what I feel. This is your human design, your gene keys, your astrology. Okay, this is it. Your unique way. It's going to be your unique strategy. So if anybody is interested in that, please send me an email at connect@TanyaLoveButter, and I would love to walk you through this. Spaces are limited with it because I only take on so many people, so I can be there fully present. But this is the new way I'm going to be working. And then what I'm feeling is, then I can work with other readers and healers and stuff like that. And it's helping them to align, because this is what it is. This is why we've got burnout, because we're not doing aligned. We're trying to do it how the internet told us, how other people have told us. And, we are unique. Every single one of you doing this work is unique. Okay, so and like I say, it's not just this work, it's anything creative, it's anything that you're given to other people. It's this is like, I love it. This is pure energetic alignment that we're going to be working with. So I hope that makes sense to people. There's nobody out there doing this. And that's where I feel the problem is, this is, as we go into there, it's about being as authentic as possible, because we need the truth and we need this alignment and we need to be on the right frequency with this. So that's it. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, I'm going to go into these cards and see what the message is for this Christmas. Is anybody feeling Christmassy or not? Because I'm not at all. I'm not. I mean, Christmas isn't my favorite time of year, but I'm not feeling it at all. At all. So, hey, nice to see everybody in here as well. Really nice. You're not? No? Yeah, the Christmas spirit seems to have been gone, even though I watched A Wonderful Life the other night as well, which always just, it stirs my soul. So, right, the first thing that I'm being shown here, and I've just got such a headache when I've pulled these cards, quite a lot of pressure in there. So what this is saying here is that many of us are facing challenges, okay, at this moment. We don't know what the plan is. We don't know where we're going. Now, I want to say to you, you are safe within this, okay? Please know that you are safe within this, because this is how it's meant to be, they're saying there. So they're wanting you to ground in whatever it is, even if you don't know, okay? Now, one of the most spiritual things that you can say is, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I know Alex Ebert out of Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros once said, what's the most spiritual emoji? And everybody was putting the praying hands. And he said, no, it's this one. Where you go, I don't know. When we're doing that, we are opening ourselves up to receive what the universe or spirit want to give us, okay? So if you don't know, get into the habit of saying, I don't know, rather than I know. So many people say it. I was reading for somebody the other day, and I was telling them this stuff, and they were going, yeah, I know. And I was like, you don't know, because if you did know, you wouldn't be asking that question, So rather than saying, I know, say, I don't know, okay? This is taking the mind out of it, and it's letting the soul override it, because the struggle is here that you're trying to appear that you know it, trying to appear that I've got this. Okay, now I want to say, when you say I don't know, that's when you've got it. Okay, because that is when you are in surrender. And this is what it's saying here, and it's also saying that, the people that might be telling you this way, look at them. Are they really there? I come on here and I tell you, do you know what I mean? I fuck up, I struggle, I go through all of that, because that is what we're meant to do. I cannot take people through anything that I haven't been through, so yes, sometimes I get it and it's amazing. Then other times it's like, whoa, what's going on? Stop this ride, I want to get off, So what this is saying here is, be very careful of the frequency that some of the messages that are coming through to you, are they coming from a place of pain? Okay. Is that person that is given that message, are they still working from their wound rather than their worth? Because this is the time as well. Neptune leaving Pisces, it's pulling the veil off. It's all of this illusion, I seen it the other week. I don't know if anybody's seen it, where it was Deepak Chopra had been in the Epstein files, and I was like, that is classic Neptune in Pisces in retrograde at the time. This is not the time of the guru. It's not. We've had all of that. These people have fallen from their pedestals, and this is time to wrap it up. Okay, to wrap it up and to actually go towards the real. Because the thing is, when it's real, it's raw, and that's when you can trust it. And you will know this because you will feel it. You will feel the difference. It will be, it will feel balanced. It will talk about equally the dark as much as the light. It will talk about the struggle as much as the success. We can't have one without the other. And this is what it's saying here, that this is time to start on that new adventure where we go, it's okay if I don't do it right. It's okay, because there is no wrong. We never lose, we win, or we learn. And even if something doesn't work out in the way that we wanted it to, we're gaining experience. And the key to live your life with ease is to see everything as an experience, accept it, surrender to it, and then evolve. That's what it's about. Okay? It's not about getting to this height of pinnacle of success and then that's it, because then what? You know, it's like relationships. When people meet these relationships and everything's perfect and they never have arguments and all of that, it's like, where's the growth? We're meant to evolve. This is why we're here. And this is what it's saying. It's giving you permission to say, okay, I can walk blind. I don't have to be on the right path. I don't have to do, it in the way that I'm being told. This isn't about, getting a medal for who's got there first. It's not. It's about having an open heart, even if it gets hurt. It's about taking that risk. It's about taking the judgment away from yourself. We all look at these social medias, and we're there to be this fabulous, polished, this. We look at everybody's lives and oh God, wow, look at their lives. And I'm telling you this through experience. There are many people on there living their best lives, and I know that they're not. Okay? So I know that they're not. So when anybody works with me on my Alchemy of the Soul program, one of the rules with that is no judgment, shame, or guilt. Okay, they're the things that we take away from it. And I want you within this reading is saying to look at the times where you have been in judgment of yourself, where you have shamed yourself, and where you have felt guilty. Okay, because take them away and give yourself permission to just enjoy whatever is happening. It's not about getting it right. There's no right path. Every path that you're on will be right, because you will get the lesson that you need, or you will get the door open that you need, or you will even get the door closed in your face. And that's exactly what you needed to do. Okay, so this is saying, see everything as perfect, even though it's imperfect. Get out of our head and out of our mind, and get out of this programming that things have to be a certain way. This is where it's going to hold us back. This is where we're going to be in so much pain if we try to do what we've done. Because if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we've always got. And this is where it's changing. This monkey mind that we have, right, is actually, and the stuff that is going in our mind, sorry, they're talking to me there. The stuff that is fed into our mind on a daily basis is here to keep us away from our heart. Wow, I just got so emotional there when that came through. What they're saying is, the stuff that is being fed to us about how things should be, relationships, work, our lives, us, how we should look, blah, 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 all of that stuff, it's not healing us. It's not healing us. It's actually taking us further away from our heart. And that's where we need to be, because that's when it gets hard. If we're not in our heart, if you can wake up and, on a day that's been really tough and really shit, and you can still find that place to find love, even for, the sadness, even for the grief, then that's what we need to do, because this is what we've been missing. This is what we are being pushed away from. Okay, I knew somebody once, and they worked for somebody, it was some sort of royalty. Now, this was many, 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 many years ago. And they were a dresser for, I'm not even going to say who it is, because I don't speak bad of the dead. And they said that they'd been told that there are dark forces among us, okay? And that's what I want to say here. When we're being swayed into a different direction, it is not coincidence, and it is not by chance. Okay, so what we need to do here is find the middle ground. Okay, be aware of what's going on, but don't buy into it, okay? Don't buy into the theater. Don't buy into the bullshit. Don't buy into the fear, okay? They're telling me here, oh, wow. Thanks for this. I thought this was going to be a good one today. They're telling me here, I feel there's going to be another false flag, okay? There's going to be another thing that is going to get everybody all worried and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say what they're telling me there because I like I say, I just can't be bothered with the hassle with this. But what they're trying to do is separate and segregate, okay? They're saying here, two hearts beat as one. So know that the other is you as well, okay? That's what they're trying to separate. It's saying here, it could be something that comes out of the blue. There is a female involved in this as well. I don't know what this is connected. They're not telling me who this is, but what they're saying here is whoever it is should be in jail. That's what they're saying, you know. For some reason as well, they're talking about peace in the Middle East. I don't know why. I've just been told that. But what they're saying is that there is a new beginning coming. Something new is coming. Okay, so it's like as we're going down that path, they're going to try and divert. Okay, but no. That is not the key. You know, we don't divert. We stay in that middle path. We stay in our heart. We follow our heart. You know, if anybody wants to get us into fighting, arguments, anything like that, a lot of you will be spending time with family, you know, and family around Christmas time is usually a hard thing. It's saying, don't engage. Don't engage. Remember that love in your heart. Remember that person sitting opposite that table to you. You love them deeply. And if they were not there, you know, you would feel that pain. So winning an argument is not important. Okay, if you feel yourself being triggered, it's saying, look at what this is showing in you, because that is what is actually stopping you from, oh, I don't know what's just happened with my computer there. My computer's just all flashed. This is what is stopping you. Whoa. Sorry about this. This is what is stopping you from being at peace. Okay, it's not the other person. It's the thing within you that is being triggered. Okay, this is what it's talking about here, and it's saying it's not worth fighting. You know, when you are on defense, you are getting hard. You know, you're contracting, and what this wants to do is actually expand. It's saying it's time to put this to rest. Yes, people may have disappointed you. Yes, there might have been pain in the past, and you might want that pain acknowledged. Acknowledge it yourself. Give that pain whatever it is you want, and then move on. And, you know, this is a time when we really need to relate to each other strongly. You know, we really do. We need to spread that message that this is love. We're all the same. Everybody is suffering, okay? And what this is saying is everybody can be instrumental in our healing as well. You know, so if we are willing to heal others and to lay our swords down, you know, remember the story of the football? I'm getting all emotional here. With the, I think, was it German and English soldiers on no man's land, where they were fighting each other, and on Christmas Day, they all stopped and played football together on a field, you know, because all of them were away from their families. All of them were hurting. All of them were fighting a war that really wasn't going to benefit them, but was making other people rich. They were cannon fodder. And in that moment, them two sides came together and they realized that they were the same. And this is what it's talking about. That is where true magic is. And this is why they're trying to keep us away from our magic. Okay. But the thing is, our magic is that love. Our magic is when we realize that our heart is our weapon and our heart is our shield, you know, and that is it. When we actually come from love in all times, This does not make us vulnerable. This makes us strong. This is the work that we've got to do. This is it. When we are fighting, we're feeding. We're feeding them, okay? When we're in fear, we're feeding them. Yes, we may not know where we are going or what is coming, but what this is saying, if you say grounded, and grounded in your heart, okay? Because the truth that you might be feeling might be truth that's being put in there, okay? So be discerning. If you are feeling an anxiety in any way, stop and ask, where are you going against what your soul wants? Because that is the biggest source of anxiety, okay? If you are in fear, if you are worried, anything like that, stop and say, what am I doing here that is not part of God's plan? Where am I staying where it doesn't serve me? What am I thinking that doesn't serve me? And where is it I'm trying to keep myself safe, which is actually, we all want to keep ourselves safe, but where is it that I can keep myself safe by diminishing my power? Okay, now what they're saying there is power is not how many fights we win, it's how many times we strive for peace. Okay, it's yeah, that's it. When we keep peace in our hearts, then it doesn't matter what goes on. They can't get to us. So this is the fire to ignite as we go into the new year. It's cool, it's cleansing, it feels good. What is coming, it is pure magic. If we look through the eyes of magic, then we will see magic everywhere. We will know that we're safe. We will know that we're supported. And any ideas that encourage us to fight or get angry or anything like that, then they're not the way. We have to find this middle way. We have to block out anything that actually disturbs our peace, and anything that we're carrying from the past, pain, anything, we need to transmute that to love. This is what is coming. This is what we're going through. And this should be the plan as you go into the new year, to bring this into balance. That's where happiness lies. That's where happiness abides. And this is where we can see another as not an enemy, but a brother. that rhymed there. So yeah, these are the seeds that we need to plant, because these next 8 months are going to be important for us. But know that we are, we're following the sun. Think of that song. I don't know who is it that sings that, Follow the Sun, because that is the one that's actually coming through here. We're headed to this full alignment. We're headed into probably one of the most spiritual times we've ever had, but it's going to be grounded, and it's going to be real. Okay, it's going to be on the earth and of the earth, rather than in another planet. And this is when we know that we've done it. Okay, so that's it. It's like, let's come together. Let's raise a glass to this, to faith, to hope, to charity. That is the key. That is the key. This is what we need. And anything that isn't that, we walk away from, because where we're walking to will be better than where we've been. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that was a bit heavy coming through there, but I knew there was a message and I needed to come on and say it. So I wish you all a very merry, peaceful Christmas, okay? A new year, or whatever it is anybody else celebrates. And remember that, it's just a day. Don't let the stress take over. It's about presence, not presence, okay? And like I say, if you get triggered, find that peace, and remember that that person sitting opposite, maybe passing you the turkey leg or whatever, that you love them deeply from a soul level. So don't let whatever the media or anything, don't let that get in between. Okay, so I send so much love. If anybody wants a reading from me, please use that link below, because this will be the last time I will be able to read for you personally. And if anybody is interested in working on my ease program to bring yourself into alignment, within your work and your unique message and gift that you have to give to the world, then please drop me an email. And again, anybody wanting to know that 2026 is the year that you're really going to put that shit behind you, then there is Alchemy of the Soul. So they're the ways that you can work with me currently. I send you so much love. Satnam.